I'm Dr. Thomas von Wiegand. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Corporate Systems and also the Principal Research Scientist at Sensometrics Corporation. I became interested in perfume about a year ago when I read this book about Luca Turin, who's a biophysicist who has a new theory of olfaction. He proposed that the olfactory system has a way of acting to detect the vibrations of the molecules. It's really fascinating to read about it. When I start constructing a scent, I have a sort of a scent brief in my mind of like what I want it to be. For example, if I want it to be a male or a female oriented scent, or maybe a scent that might be appropriate for repelling bugs. And so then I just think about my collection of scents, and I just pick some that I think might be good starting points. And then after that, I just I have to remind myself thoroughly what they smell like, and so I get scent strips out and I sniff the scent strips, and then I just start grabbing various other chemicals from my palette and comparing them and combining them, and certain things just sort of fall together that they just seem very compatible. And then it's a matter of fine-tuning, what the ratios are. And it's just a lot of smelling on these scent strips, the smell of tea, tobacco. And I'm especially interested in tea. I have a pretty big collection of teas. And one kind of tea that I like is Earl Grey, which is flavored with bergamot. And that is also used as a scent chemical in a lot of perfumes. One scent that I think is underrated is Iso-E Super, which is a chemical that I encountered. It basically, when you add it to any perfume creation, it just seems to make it better. I don't know exactly how, but it just interacts with the molecules and it just adds interest and fullness to it. I've tried my hand at making my own perfume ingredients. A tincture involves just soaking different odoriferous materials in alcohol. And so just looking around the house, I'd find different things, like coffee and tea are obvious things to pick, tobacco. I don't really have a preference for natural or synthetics because I can appreciate what's good about both different types. Natural scents usually are composed of many different base chemicals, and there's a lot of complexity there, just as there's a lot of complexity in all of nature, and that's like really good. But there's a lot of talented chemists working on new kinds of smells, and they're building those smells atom by atom, building new molecules that like have never been smelled before. And that's really interesting stuff too. So in my collection, I have lots of naturals. Like I have many different kinds of bergamot, and they all smell different. And I have lots of artificial, man-made odors, and they're awesome too. I have no problem with animal testing. My dogs try my perfumes, and I have a protocol that I use for testing ingredients with my two dogs that involves using a scent strip, and I put the scent strip in front of their nose, and I time how long it takes for them to either go towards it and try to lick it, or back away from it. And they have definite preferences and dislikes. Sometimes they recoil when they smell something and it's like, oh, no way. And sometimes they just lunge for it and they want to eat it. And most of the other times, I could just count the seconds, and if it holds their interest for more seconds, then I just think it's a better perfume, at least for a dog. I think human beings probably appreciate their sense of smell as much as they're physically capable of. We're just sort of wired to have a certain precedence in how important each sense is, and for humans, the sense of smell is really at the bottom of the list. So it's surprising that we are as interested in smell as we are. It's just part of our physiological makeup.